Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Watched by Ashley. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I want to do things a little bit differently and actually share my thoughts regarding season 4 of Westworld. Yes, that's right, you heard me, Westworld is on its 4th season. I know that the viewership for Westworld has declined steadily since its 2016 debut. I mean, this was supposed to be HBO's new flagship show. It was supposed to replace Game of Thrones. But they've had such a departure from the first season that no one even knows the show's still on. And you know what? They deserve that because season 3 was such a dumpster fire and such a mess that I'm surprised I even watched the 4th season, to be honest with you. I mean, to me, the best parts of season 3 were Hiroyuki Sanada as Musashi and their cover of the Weeknd's Wicked Games. Those are the only two things I really liked about season 3. We all knew that the hosts were gonna leave the park. The robots were definitely going to end up integrating with humans. Like, that was predictable. But some of the choices they made once they left the park for the show just were really questionable. Like, the show, I think the main demographic for the show would be a male audience. I mean, it's sci-fi, it's robots, like, I think your target audience would definitely be middle-aged men. But for some reason they chose to make the show like a flagship for girl power. I don't know why. Like, the only 3 characters that are interesting and consistent throughout the show are Dolores, Maeve, and Charlotte Hale. Every other male character just kind of blends into the background or is completely neutered. Like, Teddy doesn't have any ambition of his own. He just serves to make Dolores happy. Bernard is always cleaning up messes. After his whole arc with his son, like, we haven't really seen anything of interest from him. He's just kind of there, kind of piecing all the, like, kind of guiding everyone along in the story. Then you have Aaron Paul's character of Caleb, who wasn't very likable. I mean, they went and cast a well-known actor in this role, and he ended up shrinking himself whenever he was with Maeve or Dolores, which was a shame. And then you had Ed Harris's Man in Black, who was like the badass of the previous seasons, and they managed to neuter him as well, which I don't even understand why you would want to do that. Like, he's your big bad force, and in the 3rd season they just took him down. Like, he's still there, but he's not really there. Like, it's just a very strange decision that they made, and I think they really lost their connection with their audience. Final thoughts in regards to whether or not you should watch season 4. Definitely. Season 4 is a significant upgrade in comparison to season 3. And what I would suggest if you haven't seen season 3 is just skip it, just watch a recap and then watch season 4. It's not worth your time. But let's get into season 4. So, like I said, typical things that you can expect from Westworld is the beauty. Beautiful locations, beautiful set design, beautiful wardrobe, beautiful shots. Perfect. The only thing that lacks with Westworld is the storytelling or the script, the plot. Like, it's just so thin. And they, like, imagine it. First season was 10 episodes, now we're down to 8 episodes, and even 8 episodes feels like it's too much. Like, maybe this should be like 4 or 6 episodes for the season because they just use all these other things to distract you from how thin the plot is. What I liked about season 4 is they made a focus on character development. Instead of shrouding the whole season in mystery, they actually put more layers to their characters and gave them actual arcs this season. And for example, one of those arcs would be Caleb. You know, he's a lot more likable in this season versus season 3. He has his own identity instead of being in the shadow of Dolores or Maeve. In this season, he is trying to be the best father that he possibly can be. And even after he dies and is kind of resurrected in these 3D printed bodies, he still has the desire to be a good dad. And I really liked the way that they depicted his imprisonment and attempts to escape. It kind of draws back to the movie The Triangle, because every time he tries to escape, the further and further he gets on his journey, he's bumps into corpses of his own body, because he has this flaw where he can only stay in the body for like 72 hours because his mind will reject the body and then he dies. So as he's getting further and further in the journey, seeing more and more corpses, and he's just kind of he's fighting on but feeling discouraged because he's been here before and he's died. So I really like that kind of dilemma, and like I said, he's more likable because he actually has a motive. So for season 4, I really did enjoy the development of Hale. So Charlotte Hales had a bit of an evolution over the seasons. She went from being this snarky Delos executive to being replaced by Dolores in a host body that resembles Hale. And Dolores ended up living Hale's life in the real world and became very attached to Hale's family. And unfortunately, the family died, and Hale was in that accident. Dolores Hale was in that accident. And it really shaped this host version of Hale. She went from being Dolores and having this outlook and wanting to be nurturing and loving that family to being very jaded, cruel, and calculating because she wanted revenge for the death of Hale's family. And I really love this evolution. Tessa Thompson did a fantastic job in her performance. She captured it all so fantastically. Like, even not just from the transition from Dolores being in Hale's body and becoming her own variant, but then becoming like the ruler of the world and infecting the human race with this virus that ends up allowing her to control humans' minds. I thought that was so cruel, so evil, something that's like not that far from reality in terms of the fact that she established complete dominance and control by having amassing a wealth and using that to influence politicians and just brainwashing everybody. Like, I thought that was awesome. I really enjoyed her character this season. She, like I said, she showed a wide range of emotions, from being angry and vengeful to being bored, right? Because she eliminated all of her enemies and just wanted to be done with everything. I just loved her performance. It was fantastic. This season of Westworld showcases her acting chops, and I was so impressed. So kudos to her. Kudos for the producers for utilizing her correctly. I really don't know how they were going to do a 5th season for the show. I personally felt like the ending that they had really wrapped it up pretty well, like especially with all the hosts in the Sublime, and they kind of touch on the fact that the humans will probably go extinct. And I'm fine with that. Like, I don't know if you do a 5th season, what's the point? Like, what can you really open up from the ending and settle within 1 season? Because odds are they will not get a 6th season for sure, especially with the ratings being as low as they have been. But let me know in the comments below if you think there should be a 5th season and what direction the show should take. If you watched the video up to this point, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you like the content, please give me a like and subscribe. It would definitely help me in growing the channel. And until next time, I will see you later. Take care.